welcome back to ASEAN Challenge into ASEAN Calendar. Lots of important dates coming up to mark your dates with.
ใช่แล้วค่ะกลับเข้าสู่รายการ ASEAN Challenge ในช่วงนี้ ASEAN Calendar ไปติดตามกันค่ะ
The Day of Valor marks the greatness of Filipino fighters during World War II. It's marked on or around April 9th in the Philippines each year. What do people do? This holiday, also known as Ara in Kagitingan, is a non-working holiday that's also part of a long weekend in the Philippines. World War II veterans parade in different cities in the Philippines on this day. There are small parades in various localities in the Philippines, but this holiday's main highlight occurs when the country's president gives a speech at Mount Samat Shrine in the Bataan province to commemorate the heroism of the Filipinos and American troops during World War II. Public life. The Day of Valor is a regular holiday in the Philippines and occurs on or around April 9th. A lot of the streets as a result are closed, and public transportation routes may be redirected to give way for parades. Malls and other leisure activities remain open, and most people may go to these places and use this day as a family day. Background. This Day of Valor commemorates the heroism of Filipinos and American soldiers when the Japanese occupied the Philippines during World War II. The Major General Edward P. King of the United States Army was forced to surrender more than 76,000 Filipinos, Chinese, and American soldiers to the Japanese at dawn on April 9, 1942. The soldiers were forced to take a 90-mile hike to Camp O'Donnell in San Fernando. Thousands of prisoners died during the hike. It was called the Bataan Death March. They died because of starvation, dehydration, and diseases before reaching the camp. Despite the trials of defeat, the captured soldiers stood strong and heroes emerged from the event. The surrender of Bataan hastened the fall of Corregidor. However, without this stand, the Japanese might have quickly overrun all of the U.S. bases in the Pacific. Bataan forced them to slow down, giving the Allies valuable time to prepare for the conflicts, such as the Battle of the Coral Sea and the Battle of Midway, which followed closely thereafter. American and Filipino liberation forces eventually retook the Bataan Peninsula on February 8, 1945. The Day of Valor was a national observance until a letter of instruction, number 1087, dated on November 26, 1980, made the Day of Valor a national public holiday to honor the people who helped bring democracy and freedom in the Philippines during World War II. Executive Order number 203, dated June 30th, 1987, further proclaimed April 9th as the Day of Valor to pay tribute to the heroes of Bataan, Corregidor, and Besang. Ascension of the Prophet Muhammad in Indonesia. Ezra and Mirage. Ezra and Mirage, also known as Al-Isra wal Miraj, is observed on the 27th day of the month of Rajab, the 7th month in the Islamic calendar. This event marks the night that Allah, or the God, took Muhammad on a journey from Mecca to Jerusalem and then to heaven. What do people do? Customs around Ezra and Mirage vary between different Islamic communities. Some people spend the evening or night listening to or studying the story of Ezra and Mirage in a mosque or at home. They may also decorate their homes or communities with candles or small electric lights and share food, especially sweets, with each other, or prepare a communal meal. People in some communities make a special effort to include children in celebrations and explain the story of Muhammad's journey. Public life. Ezra and Mirage is not a public holiday in countries like Australia, Canada, the United Kingdom, and the United States. However, there may be some local congestion in the evening on roads around major mosques. Background. The Prophet Muhammad lived in and around the area that's now Saudi Arabia in the years 570 CE to 632 CE in the Gregorian calendar. According to Islamic belief, Allah took him on a two-part journey sometime around the year 620 CE. The first part of the journey, known as Isra, was from Mecca to the furthest mosque. There's some debate about this furthest mosque's location. Some Muslims believe it signifies a mosque that was far away from Mecca. Others believe it was the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It's believed that Muhammad was shown heaven and hell in the second part of the journey, known as Mirage. He talked with many prophets, including Jesus and Moses, in heaven. He also received instructions on Islamic prayer. Muhammad returned to Mecca before the end of the night. Some Islamic scholars regard him and his journey as a spiritual experience, while others see it as a physical journey. His journey is remembered and commemorated on Ezra and Mirage.
13th to the 15th of April 2018, Songkran Day. Thailand has a fascinating and multifaceted culture in accordance with its lifestyles and diverse geographic and environmental orientations. Thais are fortunate to have customs and traditions to celebrate every month. In April, the Songkran tradition, known as the Thai Traditional New Year, is celebrated. Songkran is a celebration that embraces goodwill, love, compassion, and thankfulness, using water as the means of expression. Songkran Festival has been celebrated in Bangkok and several regions in Thailand, as well as in southern China, Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia. The word Songkran is derived from Sanskrit and means to move or step forward. The first day of Songkran takes place when the sun moves from Pisces to Aries, which marks the New Year's Day according to the Brahmin solar calendar. The festival of Songkran is from the 13th to the 15th of April every year. The first day is known as Maha Songkran, or the Grand Songkran. The Thai government has declared the Songkran festival an extended public holiday to enable people to return to their hometown and reunite with others in their community. In addition, the government also designated 13th of April the Day of the Senior or Elderly. The occasion marks the appreciation for the senior population for their years of contribution to the family and country. And the 14th of April is Family Day to celebrate family love and togetherness. What to do during the Songkran festival? To celebrate Songkran, there are many activities throughout Thailand, according to regional tradition. Some of the activities include cleaning houses and public places such as temples, schools, and offices, to welcome the new year with cleanliness and fresh start. Merit-making by offering alms to monks in dedication to the late ancestors, listening to Buddhist preaching, and releasing birds and fish back into their natural habitats. Sprinkling water onto Buddha images and monks is an auspicious act to receive blessings for the new year. Building sand pagodas on temple grounds. Bringing sand into the temple's premises is considered a merit because the sand can be used for construction or restoration by the temple. Pouring water onto elderly family members of the family or society to show respect and gratefulness and to ask for their blessing. Enjoying folk performances and traditional games to preserve the Songkran tradition. Having friendly water fights using clean or scented water, exchanging New Year's greetings during water play, and asking permission before throwing water at someone because he or she may not wish to get wet. What not to do during Songkran festival? As water throwing has become popular during Songkran, it is recommended that the following practices are avoided. Using dirty water, ice, or a mixture of dangerous items such as paint, dye, and plant seeds. Throwing water at people who are riding on motorcycles and cars. Using modified gadgets like PVC pumps that produce high water pressure. Performing lewd acts such as applying powder paste on others' faces or making inappropriate physical contact. Consuming too much alcohol, especially in public places. And those were the events around this month for you to mark your calendars with. With that said, we'll take a short break and we'll be back soon.
สักครู่ค่ะ